Hey there viewers, thank you for tuning into Supermariodiagnostics once again. Today we are taking a good look at the Topdon TB6000 PRO. It is a newly released product and I'm one of the beta testers. Not many people have this already. That is because they are doing a Kickstarter, which I'll leave a link in the description for. They're doing a Kickstarter to see if there's going to be enough backing for this, and I think there should be because it is pretty impressive so far. I've had it for like 3 or 4 days and I put it through its paces and I'll show you how. This is catering to both the pro market and the DIY, and I'll explain why. Because most of the time when you see a charger like this, you're probably maintaining something, maybe like a weekend warrior motorcycle, maybe like a lawnmower battery, or maybe you have what I have and decided to dedicate it to that, and I think it suits me pretty well. And you as a technician may be interested in seeing that. If you're interested in seeing what I'm using it for mainly, stick around, I'll show that in a little while. But for now, we're going to dive into this. This is not only a charger, but it also acts as an automatic maintainer or manual maintainer as well. You can put it manually to maintain batteries. It has a maximum amperage of 6 amps, and it only takes 90 watts max on this. There's only one button. Like, the interface is as simple as it gets. You press 2 buttons to start something, but to change options you press it once. And it does do lithium, which not even the Tornado 90,000 can do, so that is nice. But it does do lithium 12-volt batteries. So to show you, there is a BT transmitter on this, a Bluetooth transmitter, and right now I'm just cycling through all of the different options and whatnot. It shows you both voltage and amperage at the same time. They cycle between the two, and it also does 6-volt batteries as well. So maybe you have a garage full of batteries, maybe you want to keep something alive, maybe a motorcycle or scooter, whatever it may be really. You can do that with this. There's also a repair function. Those of you who've seen my Tornado 90,000 review video, that has a repair mode and it has a 9-step charging mode as well, which I went through all the steps. I won't do that in this video, but you can see that video if you'd like, and you'll have the same features in this one as well. So it does have a charging capability, a 9-step charging capability, a repair function, and a maintainer, or well, as they would call it, a 12-volt supply. So they do have the supply. And let's say your battery is fully charged and you decide to keep the cables on it. It does come with another set of cables. Let's say you keep this on whatever it may be, using these right here. You can have this permanently attached to the battery of, let's say, your motorcycle, and you only ride it, let's say, in the summer. Well, you could just disconnect it, and it stays alive, obviously, but this also stays alive in the case where I'm going to show you. I'll just show it to you later. It stays alive if you disconnect it from the AC voltage, the wall outlet, and you still have the 12-volt battery connected. So that's a nice feature because you could just pick up where it left off. I will show how that comes into play with my use of this. But for now, what I was going to say is that this automatically goes from charging to maintainer, depending on the situation. So you don't have to constantly be turning it on, turning it back on, turning it off, turning it back on. So long as, well, only when you disconnect it, that's when you'll have to do it. But if you, let's say, crank up your motorcycle every now and then, and it starts consuming temporarily because of that cranking event, well, this will just go back to charging once you're done, or maintainer, depending on the state of the battery. It really does its own testing. It does come with an app. The app itself is called TB6000 PRO, and it shows clamp not connected. Wow, I didn't even know it could do that. That's pretty cool. Once we connect this to a battery, it'll show that the clamp is connected, but you'll be able to, it has a ton of options. I mean, you could choose all the different kinds of batteries that you would like to charge and whatnot. Let me come back down. The battery standard in which you're using it for, the battery rating. You can even set a schedule for this thing, so that's pretty cool. And there is more options here. It is more in depth than I can show in this video. This is just a quick overview. There's expert mode on this thing where, I mean, it goes really in depth. You could change all kinds of parameters, and it does it efficiently. You do a quick charge, just hit one button and go. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. You can see the test reports. It'll do a pre-charge test and a post-charge test, and you'll be able to send that, either do a screenshot, save the report, and send that into like your DVI software, like what we're using, TechMetric. We could just save that real quick into the customer's profile or DVI and things of that nature, which is pretty nice. Usually you have to connect the tester, then do the charging with another apparatus, and then bring back the tester to show that the battery is good. So it brings that all down into one piece. This is I believe a water resistant rating. It just probably says it around here somewhere. It's fully sealed. It doesn't emit anything. I had it at full supply, 6 max amps for about 4 days straight, and this thing didn't miss a beat. It got a little hot, but I don't think it's anything near its limitations. I think it holds up pretty strong. So if you're wondering if this thing can maintain something at max amperage for days, yes it can. So let's go ahead and show you how I use this personally. It may be helpful for other technicians if you're looking to do something with your motorcycle, your weekend warrior, or your lawnmowers, or whatever other batteries that you have. You want to maintain them because you don't use them that frequently. This is a viable option. But this next portion of the video is really going to be towards my personal use of it. I have plenty of chargers, and this is just the one that I've been looking for this particular use. I've tried all kinds, and the 6 amps really comes in handy as opposed to many 2 amp chargers which did not fit my needs. And then obviously this would be just overkill. I did try this and it works well, but I would rather use this for programming instead of for what I'm using it on the daily basis. So let's go ahead and jump into that use right now. Some of you may have guessed it already. This is my Diag cart. It has a 4K TV on it, a laptop, Pico, and a bunch of other stuff. And that is where I use it. I've done a toolbox tour of this one, but I have not shown this new setup that I have. So looking down here, you can see I have 3 batteries here, 3 AGM batteries. They're all different. They're all wired in parallel. And the idea is that this is a mobile Diag cart. This thing will last me well over 12 hours. And yeah, it looks heavy, but it gives it a lot of stability. I have no problems with that. I used to put I've tried all kinds of chargers here. I've tried a ProLogix that kept giving me problems. That was basically the ProLogix would go into error mode once you kept it charging for too long. For over a day, it would just error out, and then you would have to do a reset procedure in order to keep it going again. I've tried those UPS, the backup batteries. That wasn't enough juice. It only gave me like 2 hours maybe. I've tried the small Topdon, I think the 2 amp, and that's obviously not enough amperage to keep this thing juiced up until the next day. So at the end of the day, I would reconnect it to the wall, and as expected, they would not be fully charged, and I would have to be constantly on the wall. So eventually I tried a maintainer. I put a maintainer on these, and a programming maintainer, and that did the job. But it is a programming maintainer, and I would rather have that for programming. It's it's not cheap, and it's just better utilized programming with it. So finally, I think this is the solution here, because it has 6 amps max, and it charges it by the next day. So I can keep these things going for a while. Obviously, these are car AGM batteries, and they're not deep cycle batteries. I know their limitations with that. It may not be the best ideal kind of battery for this situation, but I don't really care for that. These are cores, actually. These are all cores that have tested bad, and I ran through with the Topdon repair functions. And when they die, like really, really, really die, I'll just swap it out for another core. So I've already swapped out some of these. It seems like a lot of work, but you know what? I don't mind it. It does me well. They've held up pretty well. It started out with one battery, then it turned into two, and then I said, "Screw this, let's go for three." And I may even put a fourth one if this, like with all the space that I have here now. Running these batteries, it is an inverter. We're grabbing the 12 volts, putting it through an inverter, and coming out with the AC voltage for our laptop and the TV. I've got a max draw of about 10 amps with everything on. 10 amps, 12 volts, 10 amps. So about 120 watts. That's my draw on this. So when I turn off my laptop and my TV at night, there's no draw except for, some of these components. And it charges up by the time I get back. Right now it is blinking because I don't have it charging. And to put it to charge, I double tap and it starts charging. It gives me a voltage readout, and it already jumped up to 12.6 even with the TV on. It's at a full 6 amps. And every now and then I'll run another repair function to it and get it back to normal. So yeah, that's what I use it for. And one of the things I like is that, you see how I have this cable here? Well, when I go over here and disconnect it, this stays on. Obviously, it's not going to keep charging. It goes right back to where it was. It's blinking. It's ready. It's on standby. And no, it doesn't automatically pick up where it left off in the sense that it'll just start charging when I connect it. I do have to press that button, but that is not too bad. Bam, we're right back to where we started. So that is my personal use. What's your use? Are you going to maintain a motorcycle battery? What do you got, a lawnmower? Do you have a Diag cart? If you have a Diag cart and you are wondering what should I use for my power supply and what charger should I use and inverter and all that stuff, well, you're looking at it right here. It does me very well. I can move anywhere I want in the shop with it, and not tied down by cable, and that charger makes it happen. So thanks Topdon for making this. It is a damn good charger. I hope you guys are interested as well. You can find it on that Kickstarter program that I mentioned. Be sure to look at the link in the description for that Kickstarter. You're going to get a deal that you're never going to get again, because once that Kickstarter closes, it becomes full price. If you look at the Kickstarter, they show everything. They show all the details. They show the circuit board. It's pretty cool. You should check out that page. And then in the bottom, they'll show the prices for like the early bird prices and whatnot. Or if you're gonna end up distributing them, they have like a 10-pack deal as well. And so if you have any doubts whatsoever, feel free to leave a comment, and if I haven't mentioned it already, I'll go ahead and answer with whatever comments you may have, whatever questions you may have. No, I did not go crazy in depth with the app stuff. I think Topdon could do a much better job with explaining that than I ever could. So I'm showing you as a technician what I use it for, and I know there's a lot of you out there with Diag carts. I'm pretty sure you're wondering, oh, should I buy a UPS? You have cores, right? Your shop has cores. And maybe there's a core there that it might be just repairable. And you hit it with the repair function using this. Do a before and after test. Make sure it's got some juice in there. It might not be 100%, but it's enough to run this thing. And yeah, it takes a little bit of work, run some cables, but not a big deal. That's what I use it for. I'm pretty happy with it. And obviously this is super easy to take off and just use it for any other car. So anytime I need to do that, I can just go ahead and do so. But I also have other Topdon chargers to do that with. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all enjoyed this review. I'm pretty happy with it. Like I said, I ran it at 6 amps max for 4 days straight without a single hiccup. I thought it would get too hot, but it does not. It holds up really well. Leave a comment. If you have any questions, be sure to hit like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that link in the description. I'm going to put some pages up on there for you guys to see it. And till next time.